Don't you forget you're special. Don't you forget you're special.
We were all born different, even those that look alike, even twins of differences and can be identified.
Welcome to the Able Show. I am your host, Celestino Cornel, and I am joined by my three lovely co-hosts, Kendra, Samantha, and Asal.
Always forgetting my name.
And of course, DJ X-Ray, keeping the energy high and the vibes alive. Every triumph has a hidden story, one of struggle, perseverance, and transformation. And today we're honored to highlight the story of a remarkable actor whose career is signaled by his authenticity and resilience to the work. I am speaking of a force to be reckoned with, Kareem Grimes. So sit back, relax, get nice and comfy, because you're in for a treat.
Against you, and you forget you're special. Don't you forget you're special. Don't you forget you're special. Don't you.
Welcome back to the Able Show. And Kareem Grimes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming on, brother.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's a lovely cast here.
Thank you. I'm sure you're saying more for them than for me, huh? Now, you've got a great career and a great story behind us, and I'm curious to hear all the details of you going from Inglewood to the big screen. Talk to me.
Yeah, man, just a young man born and raised in Inglewood, California, and just knew what I wanted to do at a very early age.
Really?
Yeah, I knew
That right there
exactly.
sets you apart from most of us.
Yeah. As a young kid, you know, I'm entertaining family and friends, holidays, or just when people come over, I'm trying to imitate somebody. And back in my day, Flip Wilson was, he had a show, a variety show. So that's who I watched a lot, and that's who I imitated. And before then, you know, family members would call me Baby Flip. You know what I mean, for just imitating family members. And, you know, I think from that point on, I was just like, I love entertaining people. But, you know, of course, young, didn't know what was going on. Just like, this is what I like to do. And I have friends who are already in the industry. So just being around them, I kind of just watched and saw. And from that point on, I just told my mom, like, hey, this is what I want to do.
Yeah? How old are you? Like, how old are you told your mom?
Probably like around 8 or 9 years old. Yeah, and you know, thank God for a village.
So you had friends that are like your age that were already like doing commercials and stuff?
Yeah. I had a good friend by the name of Marlon Taylor and Benji. These guys were, you know, they were already in the business. Wow. You know what I mean? So for me, just watching them do their thing, it was just like, all right, yeah, I know I can do this as well. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You said you always enjoyed entertaining people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you call yourself a funny person?
You know, that's a good question. I mean, I would like to think I'm funny.
Because you look serious right now a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, I would like to think I'm funny. You know what I mean? I think I have my moments. And comedy, to me, I love comedy. Absolutely love comedy.
Did you play any comedy movies?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've played a plethora of, comedies from,
Because what I know you from, I watched All American.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you were in any comedy movies.
Yeah. I definitely did a lot of comedy. All American has allowed me to have moments of comedy. So you get to see another side of the character Preach as not so serious all the time. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, at what age, like, did you get your first gig? Like, how did that happen for you? Because you did know at an early age, at eight years old, but like, did your mom become your manager? When did you get your first agent?
No,
how did that happen?
I started doing extra work.
Oh.
So my
your mom used to take it.
Yeah, my mom's friend was in the industry, so that's how I was able to know about things. So I was doing a lot of extra work, And I was
So this was like after school on the weekends?
This was the whole time. Wasn't no weekend thing. This was an everyday thing, you know what I mean? So I actually enjoyed it because it allowed me to be out of school, you know what I mean, and be on set. And you know, as a young kid, and you go to craft services where they got a whole ice cream maker and sundaes. You're like, man, this gets no better.
Yeah.
You know, but
and I'm sure that made you real popular in school.
oh my
too,
goodness, man. You know? But yeah, just you know, first gig was being an extra on Boys in the Hood. I was just into skateboarding, and my mom's friend was like, hey, there's a young man from USC, just graduated. He has a script. He's looking for, you know, young black boys who can skateboard. And voila, I find myself on the set of Boys in the Hood. And
Not just any set. Like
yeah.
Boys in the Hood.
And but I think back then we didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just something for me that was interesting because that was the first time that I was seeing people behind the scenes who looked like me. Because back in the 80s, there were maybe one or two people who of color that you would see on set. And this set I got on to where it was the DP was a black man, and you know, the PAs and the drivers and the grips were all black, and I was just like, this is amazing. And 2 weeks into shooting, you know, we're just throwing the ball around. John Singleton is like, hey, let me play catch with you guys, and he's asking us questions, and he's like, hey man, what's your name? Where you from? He was like, yo, I'm gonna give you some lines. You cool with that? And I was just like, absolutely. And from that point on, that's how I got into SAG, and literally got upgraded and, you know, became a part of a film that, you know, lives on in cinematic history.
I see.
You know, so
Now,
yeah.
so John Singleton, he was really like a mentor to you because he mentored you in Baby Boy. Huh?
Yeah. So from Boys in the Hood, you know, John became really a mentor. Always stressed the importance of education, and you know, every film John did after Boys in the Hood, I found myself on set begging him to put me in a film, but unfortunately,
he just pulled up.
Yeah, I was just like, yo, put me in a film. He was like, nope. I have nothing for you. And he was just like, you know, I need you to finish school. And, you know, and John Singleton lived in my neighborhood, and I was just finishing up college, and my mom ran into him. And she was like, hey, you know, Kareem's graduating. He was like, hey, have him come to my office. And this is his office in Leimert Park. And this is the office where he is getting ready to shoot Baby Boy. So, you know, I'm in this office, it's pretty much empty, and he's like, listen, I'm about to shoot this film, and I want you to learn exactly what it takes to shoot a film from start to finish.
Wow.
And from that point on, you know, it's like a time lapse of, you know, casting comes in, and then, you know, you have a wardrobe and transportation and locations, and, you know, he had me touch every department in that process of filmmaking, to where, you know, I was doing the auditions as far as recording and reading, and you know, it was just a beautiful situation to be in as a young man, to see not just being in front of the camera, but what goes on behind the camera, you know, the production side, and it helped me tremendously. And you know, I started off as John Singleton's assistant, and you know, in true John fashion, he was like, yo, I'm gonna give you this role in Baby Boy. So it's like, you know, all right, cool, I'm getting 2 checks now.
That is fantastic. Thank you very much. We got some bills to pay.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have DJ X-Ray take us on commercial.
All right.
And we'll be right back with more Kareem Grimes. Now, you've played like a multitude of roles, like it's been very diverse all over. How has that been for you, and how has it affected you and transformed you, not only as an artist, but also as a human being? Because I believe that what makes you a better artist makes you a better human, and vice versa, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think as an actor, you want to be able to not limit yourself to just doing one character. You know, you want to have a plethora of things that you have in your bag that you're able to bring to a set. So, you know, the different characters that I've played have definitely, with research, have learned a lot. You know, one particular character I played was a young man from Sierra Leone, and it was a show called Bones, where I played a young man from Sierra Leone who was in the conflict diamond, and he was an amputee. You know, so for me, I had to do the research. I knew about it, but just really diving in deep to find out what that was and what took place. And, you know, these kids literally had a choice to say, hey, you can either serve us or you lose a limb. You know what I mean? So going into that, you know, it was an eye-opener.
Kind of like getting in the mentality of like,
Yeah.
what would this person
Absolutely.
feel
You know,
like?
fight or flight, life or death.
Crazy,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, yeah, I think with each character, there's a piece of you in it, but there's also something that you're able to take with you to, you know, to continue on with this journey that we call life.
I share. I share.
Have you ever had a character that you had to like practice for it and live as that character for like, I would say, like months?
Yeah, like
Be
talk to
able
us about your
act it
preparation.
right, like perfect.
Yeah, I think it just depends. Everybody has a method to their madness. You know.
A lot of actors, like when they want to like play a super serious role, like, they have to get really into it. They have to like practice and live as that character. before shooting.
Yeah, I think, you know, through acting class, it's, you know, as an actor, you're not doing a scene. You're actually playing a person, you know, with a live situation. It just happened to be caught on camera. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
So you like tell yourself, if I was in this situation, how would I respond?
Exactly,
to it?
exactly.
The parameters.
You know, it's it's all about being truthful, you know, and it's not so much more of acting, but actually just being truthful, and the camera's just catching that situation that you're in.
Comes from inside.
Yeah, you know, and life experiences. You know, that's the best teacher is life experience, and you know, a lot of acting is, you know, listening and reacting. You know, that's pretty much what it is.
What role have you found to be like the most challenging emotionally that you had to bring, like that require the most vulnerability from you?
Yeah.
I know Bones was probably one. Like I said, playing a young man from Sierra Leone who was an amputee, and being accused of murder, you know, dealing with that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Now I gotta watch that.
Yeah. But I think also All-American, because Preach started off as a guy from the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And from that, you see this transformation of this guy from the streets to dealing with a situation. How does he deal with that situation? His life catching back up to him when he's still trying to, you know, lead a path of righteousness. And then finding out, oh, I have a daughter. What does that look like?
Yeah.
What is that fighting for custody? And then saying, hey,
do you
now.
have kids?
No, I don't. I have a niece and a nephew.
So you use that as
For
inspiration?
sure, for sure. And then, once again, life experiences. I have friends who were fighting for custody for their kids. What did that look like? How were they? You know what I mean? So being able to observe that, it's just, as an actor, you kind of put those in your back pocket.
That's amazing. And talk to me about the journey to All-American. Like, what were the steps like that got you there?
Oh man, it's been, you know, like I said, this journey has started in 1988. You know what I mean? So that's where we start, and you know, there's been wins and losses, but in particular, this show changed my life. All-American, the role of Preach was only supposed to do 2 episodes. He was literally supposed to do 2 episodes.
They wanted you longer.
Like recurring, just a guest star?
Yeah, just you know, 2 episodes and that's it. But there's a story to that. The show that I said, Bones, the young lady who I did her first script for TV, her name is Nkeche. She is the showrunner of All American. So I met Nkeche 10 years prior to me being on All American.
Wow.
And there's another writer who's now the co-showrunner by the name of Jamie Turner. I met him 11 years prior to being on All American when I did The Shield. And in The Shield, I auditioned for that show 17 times before I actually booked the role.
So it's
Talk
all
about perseverance.
Yeah, for
Perseverance.
And of course, you being good.
Yeah, you have to, you know what I mean? But, you know, having to audition for anything 17 times, I think after the third or fourth time, you're like, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, but one thing that my agent told me that stuck with me, he was just like, listen, they keep calling you back, so evidently they want you to get on something. He said, be concerned when the phone stops ringing.
Yeah.
You know,
That's some good
and
advice.
you know, with that, within the 17 times I would book, or they would write the role out, or they'll say, hey, we're going a different direction. But the main thing was just to stay consistent and focused. And when I did the 17th time, I ended up doing 3 seasons.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So now fast forward to me being on All American and working with these 2 individuals that I met 10 years and 11 years. They know that I'm gonna show up to work on time, I'm gonna know my lines, and I'm, you know, hit my mark. And that's just a true testament of just being a constant professional, to where that carried on. You know, 10, 11 years later on, I'm in front of them on a show, and, you know, like I said, I'm only supposed to do 2 episodes, but, you know, just showing up, doing the work, being nice, and being grateful that, you know, literally showed in my work. And she called me the last episode, the script came out. She was like, yo, did you read the script? And I was like, no. She was like, well, you get shot. She was like, but you don't die. You know, and I was like, as an actor, you're like, okay, that's what we want to hear. She was like, hey, we plan on keeping you around for a while. And, you know, that was season 1.
Fantastic. I want to hear more about that news when you got that, because that's big, you know, because we go through a lot of getting shot and getting killed.
Yeah.
Or undead. But we're going to go to commercial, and we're going to come right back.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us. Be right back with more Kareem Grimes.
What's inside of you? You don't have to guess. The answer is yes.
Welcome back to the Able Show. I am Celestino Bonilla. We're having a nice chat with Kareem Grimes, who you were just sharing with us that moment when you got that information that you did get shot, but you weren't dying.
Right.
And they actually want to keep you on the show. Like, how did that feel? Like, that's major.
Yeah, I think, you know, as an actor, you know, you're like, hey, then that's an opportunity that I'm able to, you know, come back on the show.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, having that relationship with the showrunner is very important. You know, they are the boss, they run the show. So,
and that's something younger actors and aspiring actors could take note. It's like, it doesn't matter like when you get on how small that role, carry yourself like
absolutely carry yourself you know, a certain way, and just be professional, you know. And I think what we've gotten away from is just being nice. You know, and that's being nice to people below the line and above the line. Below the line meaning it's the PA, you know, crafty, you know, just saying hi. It's not about, you don't have to do extra, but just acknowledging them, because everybody's there for a reason. Everybody has a position and a job to do, and you know, we're a unit together.
And everybody talks.
You know, bad news travels fast.
Particularly in the makeup room.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, it's just about being nice, and you know, that carried on in my work. And just, you know, nobody wants to work with a jackass. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And when you're pleasant to work with, you know, I think that carries on longevity in this business. And, you know, getting that call was a blessing. And, you know, like I said, as an actor, you're saying, hey, okay, I got another opportunity at another couple of days of work. You know, and from that point on, man, it's just been a blessing, you know, to be on a show for 7 seasons,
That's
which
incredible.
is rare nowadays in television, to where they're giving shows maybe 2, 3, at best 4 seasons, you know, so to be able to go 7 is truly a blessing, and you know, I'm
life-changing.
Yeah, life-changing, grateful, humbled, you know, and
paid.
you know, yeah, that too.
Well, the timing for All American, because that was pandemic
Yes,
too, right?
absolutely,
So I feel like
absolutely.
that plays a big role with
Yeah.
just the industry in general, right?
Yeah.
Where are you heading now? Because I feel like with All American, like you're saying, series itself, they don't last as long anymore. Do you find yourself drawn to film more or more series once again?
I'm an actor, so it doesn't matter if it's television or film. You know, I'm available. While doing All American, I've done, you know, other projects. I just completed the 2nd season for the Vince Staples Show, which is on the Netflix. And then I did Grey's Anatomy as well. So, you know, I'm wherever God leads me, wherever the opportunity is, I'm gonna take full advantage of it. But yeah, television is, you know, that's where it's at. If they're employing me, that's where I'm gonna be at until somebody else employs me.
May I ask you a little bit more
Yeah.
about the Vince Staples Show?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was that experience like for you?
It was great. I met Vince Staples through a good friend of mine by the name of Calmatic. He's a director. He directed Little Nas X, Old Town Road, and he directed Kendrick Lamar, Squabble Up. So he was working with Vince Staples a while back. I did a couple of videos for him. So that's how I established a relationship with Vince. He was saying, hey, they're working on a TV show, and you know, they wanted me to audition for a role. Auditioned, and they came back and said, hey, we want to give you another role. Will he be okay with this role? So they kind of offered me the role to play his uncle. And that's how Uncle Mike was born. And you know, we did a season, only 5 episodes, limited series. But my character, Uncle Mike, made such an impact just by me improvising certain things and one-liners. And they were like, yeah, I think we want to keep you on this. And you know, we got a 2nd season, and super excited, very, very funny this time around, and definitely pushes the envelope, and I can't wait for people to see it.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
And talk to me about legacy, like how you're using this platform that you've been given to inspire other folks, you know?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, I think it is a, you know, when you are blessed with a gift and a talent, and you have a platform, you have to be able to give back. I think if you don't give back, that's kind of like, for me, that's kind of like a disappointment of God giving you this blessing and this talent, not to give back and, you know, reach back and pull those people. So for me, I do a lot of outreach in my community and other communities that are Black and brown, that don't get those opportunities, that don't get the people to come to them that they see on television. So for me, it's, listen, I came from Inglewood, California. I grew up in this neighborhood. I didn't have a silver spoon, a gold spoon. I may have had a wooden spoon, you know, but for me, it was just saying, hey, listen, I just knew earlier on what I wanted to do, and focus, and you can do the same thing as well. You know, no matter what it is, find what you're passionate about. And once you find what you're passionate about, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I tried to stress to young kids, and just really make them think about other alternatives other than basketball and football and, you know, sports, and saying, hey, if you like playing with Legos, you can do that. You can become a builder, and, you know, Lego actually hires people to build stuff that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
That's
you know
incredible.
what I mean? So yeah.
You're truly inspiration. Did I read this correct? You're the president of the Pan-African Film Festival?
I was a brand ambassador.
Oh, brand.
I was a brand ambassador last year for the Pan-African Film Festival, which was an honor because I have been going to the Pan-African Film Festival since the beginning. And it was right in my community. They had it at the Baldwin Hills, at the Magic Johnson Theater at that time. I lived in Leimert Park, so I would walk over, catch films. You know, John Singleton being, you know, a big avid participant, you know, so I would go with him. and you know, just see films. You know what I mean? Because I was just a student of the game.
That's
So, yeah.
fantastic, man. Well, I'm very grateful you came on and chatted.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
What are your socials? How can people follow up with you?
Kareem Grimes, all across the board. Yeah, I just kind of keep it basic. I don't want it to be anything difficult that people can't get.
Speaks for itself. The work you do in the community speaks for itself.
Thank you.
Keep it nice and easy.
Absolutely.
I'm grateful you came on.
Good job.
And I'm grateful you all for tuning in.
Yes, indeed.
We are the Able Show, and every story has a hidden struggle, a perseverance. So until we meet again, remember you are able to heal, you are able to persevere, and you are able to thrive. Ashe.
Tonight, I will down the road somehow. Blame it for leaving me down a lonely road to nowhere. Blame it on you tonight. I will down the road somehow. Blame it for leading me down a lonely road to nowhere. Girl, you made me happier. But you left me with no purpose.